Salutations everyone, we're back with another episode of Missing Stars Demo. Right now, we're currently meeting this lovely character named Lena, and I have no clue what she's about, but hey, we're gonna learn. I might be drinking water through this one a little bit more just because my throat's getting sore. I'm trying to record this all in one sitting. I thought the demo was gonna be a lot shorter, but now I'm invested, so I'm gonna record it pretty much in one sitting. I am hoping you are enjoying this series, but let's continue. Miss Wickton, Mrs. Alina's rebuff, and any future association between us. Our hands are expensive-looking camera from inside her locked desk. My picture is apparently a special occasion that warrants the use of a good camera, and not one off the heaps off the shelf. Should I change? I asked, seeing that most examples were shown were out of uniform. I'd appreciate that. Everyone knows that what the uniform looks like, so there's no need to remind everybody with a single portrait. Hertha turns her attention to Lena. Make sure he puts on something nice, okay? I'll just meet you by the courtyard in 20. Lena distances herself, giving me an opportunity to size up the situation here. Miss Wick, please call me Hertha. So, the school newspaper. Would you like to know more? Yeah, I'm curious what kind of activities I could get into once I'm settling in here. Well, we'd love to have you around as long as it doesn't interfere with your studies. As far as clubs go, we're actually pretty flexible. I have to go now. I hadn't noticed the other students have been gradually leaving the club one by one. Okay, Marco, see you around. Miss Wick groans as the last student leaves and she falls back into her chair and cracks her knuckles. If I'm in the way, I can go now. Oh, it's nothing else. I just a busy day. Relax. Miss Wick follows her own instruction, plucks a sleek electronic cigarette out of her shirt pocket, and she glances over to make sure Marco closed the door behind him and starts puffing a thick strawberry-scented vapor. Do you smoke? No, ma'am. Good, no smoking allowed indoors. So you're thinking about joining the club. Have you ever been on a school newspaper publishing committee? No, but I've had friends who worked on the yearbook at my school. They seem to have a good time. It's pretty fun. We publish once a month now, so you can work almost at your own pace. We used to do a newspaper every other week, but it didn't always work out because of everyone's personal schedules. Do you enjoy writing? I'd be lying if I said it was a hobby of mine, but I usually do pretty well in my compositions and essays. If you want to be extra useful, if it helps, you can write. If you can write pretty well in English and both German. Well, I'm sure Elena told you that. Otherwise, take on the assignments you can do and submit them when you can. Do you like photography? My phone does have a camera. Funny, are you good with computers? I'm not here to fix them if that's what you're asking. Miss Wick laughs, and just having been reminded of the club's technical difficulties. Our publishing software is pretty easy. Lena will show you how to use it. Speaking of which, don't you have a photo shoot to attend to? Alright, thanks. I'll be back. Next meeting is officially on the day after tomorrow, but there's usually someone here after classes every day. I wave goodbye and head back to my class. I could go change by now, but the halls around the classes are empty enough that I can't help but feel like some staff members can come by and shoo me away for being somewhere I don't belong. Am I really going to join the school newspaper? I feel like I don't quite have the whole picture of how this is. At one moment, it looks like Miss Wick could barely manage the club. The next moment, it seems like a comparatively sloppy and casual operation is exactly how she wants it. At the very least, watching her and Lena interact could provide me with some entertainment. Fran doesn't seem to want to stick around, so if she is in fact a member, maybe she's got a grudge against Lena. Maybe they used to date. I'm stewing underneath my coat after basically running here. Or at least attempting to. Fanning my lapels doesn't disperse a cloud of sweat. I'm trying taking off together, but someone is tugging at my sleeves from behind. You're all wrinkly. I don't have an iron. She's still wearing the mask. It seemed to be a permanent fixture in her face, as opposed to something she was just at the newspaper club. Here's a tip. You can get by without an iron if you put your clothes between your matches in a box screen the night before. Be careful with the collar, though. Thanks for that tip. Shall we get started? Where should I go? I'm not sure yet. I find a stately spot by one of the building columns and stand by it. How about here? You really don't have a picture next to a pile of crumbling rock bricks and tiles? Well, just follow me. The lighting isn't that good there. I feel pretty bad for Lena. She didn't even want to do this. But now she's stuck going up and down campus with me looking for the perfect location for a couple photos. I'm not even passionate about having a good photo either. I don't even think I'd be in the yearbook at all. So Lena, where are you from? Huh? No. Where are you? Good idea. Making small talk keeps your brain occupied and less susceptible to electromagnetic mind control. Excuse me? Is this fucking Alex Jones's daughter? Are you serious? I figured my idea was better. What idea would that be? That jokes work better. Oh, okay. That jokes work better in awkward silence than asking me about little things. That wasn't funny, not unfunny in an offensive way, but a completely lacking in a humor kind of way. Oh. About your favorite mental disorder? What kind of question is that? I like how the rock music just stops. There's no fade. I guess the one that makes people swear a lot? Tourette's can do that. So can a frontal lobotomy though. Why do you ask? I just ask people what they're in here for. Apparently that's insensitive, so I just ask what their favorite disorder is. I usually pick something interesting like multiple personalities, or when their actual thing is like agnophobia or something generic. Mental illnesses aren't like cars or flavors of ice cream. I don't think any well-adjusted person would have one readily picked out. For me, it's probably amnesia. It's pretty versatile. Alright, then what are you here for? Lena snickers. Not amnesia, so do you have a regular therapist? I'm gonna see Dr. Fabers pretty soon. Ooh, yikes. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Well, only the really messed up kids have Dr. Faber as their therapist, you know. He specializes in all sorts of freaky crap, obscure phobias, voyeurism, Ganser syndrome. I don't know what Ganser syndrome is. I'm gonna just Google that, and I'm gonna be scared of what the hell comes up. Let's find out together. Ganser syndrome. What the hell is it? Ganser syndrome is a type of factitious disorder, mental illness, in which a person is deliberately and constantly acts if he or she has a physical or mental illness when he or she is not really sick. People with Ganser syndrome mimic behavior that is typical of mental illness, such as schizophrenia. Oh, so they just believe they have one. Okay, that's interesting. I thought it was me bad. Well, I guess that is kind of bad. I don't know. Basically, he's the last hope before they're sent somewhere else. I'm not sure if Lena's trying to intentionally freak me out or she's always this blunt. I was always under the impression that I'd only be seeing Dr. Faber a couple times before being assigned to someone else or something like that, but for the whole year. Maybe it's because I'm new. I mean, I don't think I'm really worth his constant Wait, stop. What? Right here, hold still. It takes a moment to register my mind what she's doing. Lena puts down her bag, holds up what looks to be like a sheet of cardstock with aluminum foil taped on it, and shines a beam of sunlight into my face. Okay, done. Can I move now? Yep. Maybe a little more worrying next time? People don't look their best when they're too repaired. They always look a little phony. I think it looks good. Lena crams her homemade reflector and shoves the screen back into the screen on the back of her camera into my face, and I can barely see the screen since Lena's reflector burns holes in right there. I look somewhere less painted in my school ID photo. Maybe catching me off guard helped me look a little natural. Anyway, I doubt we would do any better if we try again. It's good enough for me, thanks. Yeah. So, are we done here? I guess. Are you going to the next meeting? I probably will if my schedule permits it. When's that again? No clue. Right. What's it like being in the club anyway? I guess it's alright. What are the other members like? No stranger than the company you already keep. I assume she means Fran. Do you have some history with Fran? They ditched me at the club as soon as she could. They know not to mess with me. That aside from no Fran used to date one of the members, so they act like they're a full-time member, even though nothing they do gets published. Oh, so if I join, what kind of stuff would I be doing? Probably cleaning. It gets messier than you think. Does blood make you squeamish? Only if it's mine. Great. Are you busy this afternoon? A sun topic change almost knocks me off my feet. I haven't got anything planned now. Perfect. Let's get going. What? No, I don't want to spend time with you. I don't want to hear no about conspiracies and mental disorders. It turns out Lena would rather have me trained up sooner rather than later. The students in this club must smirk off their work as she's eager to recruit. So what do you think? After looking through a pile of past newspapers, I'd say it looks doable. An activity here, an informal survey there. The school newspaper looks like a good balance between challenge and enjoyability. That's partly looks like a chance to keep active, meet people, go into town, maybe travel when the choir goes on a competition or something. Maybe if I go and join the outside world, I'll find a place to belong, even if that place is nowhere in particular. I think I can do this. That's great. Just remember that your health and your studies come first. If you find yourself overwhelmed, nobody will be offended if you lay off the club participation. Well, thanks, Miss Wake. Again, my name is Hertha. Right. So tell me about your hometown. I was thinking of visiting Bastel someday. Oh. It's old for sake of being old. She chuckles. I can tell you and Lena will get along just fine. We'll see about that. Did she bite someone? Miss Wake laughs heartily, that enough makes her cough. What? What have you heard? Before I can manage, Irene starts her lips curls and breaks a hearty laugh. No, she hasn't. She has a bit difficult. She's had a difficult time in the past, but she's had a breakthrough over the summer. If she does bite, notify security immediately so they can take her out behind the barn and put her down. Thinking she had offended me, Miss Wake paused and swells up before she was going to say, wonder if her math has gotten in trouble before. Must have happened a lot to the younger teachers here. Okay, I'll stop wasting your time. I'm sure you got lots of homework to show, and I'll see you soon. Maybe if you're lucky. See you around, kiddo, and don't let Edna bother you too much. And don't call her Edna. It's Miss Clays, if she can hear it. I'm a little relieved that, I'm a little relieved to have that school photo business taken care of. My first day of class wasn't unpleasant, but I feel like it's taking forever, and I'm happy to get it over with. Seeing that was the first day of class, I asked Smith, can I survive like this? Well, I have no idea, but it's not like I have any choice. Oh well, home was a spy mess of trial and error with good ideas built up on bad ones, filtered out to get me on my feet. Now that I know how to stand, I can learn to walk here, build a routine and pan out a rhythm, and I can follow till the end of my days. Wake up, go to school, go to club meetings, eat, do homework, go to sleep. I imagine there's going to be some therapy shoehorned in inopportune moments, but inconvenience is the spice of life. I'm really prepared to be another cog in the machine, though, just a boring gray person working a desk job I hate. Yeah, right. These are my formative years. I'll be damned if I let myself get imprinted this whole lot of boring. Fran probably knows how to have a good time. I'm not sure of Lena, though. But if I could desperately try hanging out with my sisters, I doubt that would do wonders for my sex life. See, this is what happens when I'm left alone and allowed to think myself. I haven't really had any alone time with the doctor's family crisis. 5 minutes of me alone with myself, and I start resetting everything. When I get back to my room, I decide to start my homework whenever. Which is sometime between 7:30 and the second coming of Jesus. That's a great line, and I appreciate that it's in this game. It's unhealthy to let myself run ragged without having downtime when I need it. A great philosopher once said, there's never enough time to do it all the nothing you want. I throw myself into a chair, fire up my laptop, and stare blankly at the startup screen, as though I need booting up as much as the machine does. Who am I again? I know who I was last year, where I belong. I'm light years away from home, and I'm a strange land filled with strange people. I just want to go back to holding at my room, goofing off on the computer once in a while. Lena's right about amnesia being versatile. It surely would have made adjusting a new life a lot easier. I absentmindedly click around on my screen before opening a web browser, bookmarks still full of landmarks from a past life. I'm pretty sure most of them are dead links now. I don't think I've used this machine much at all in the nearly year. Spending quality time with myself has me testing the school's server's bandwidth and content filters. A little escapism never hurt anyone. introspectives can get messy. What's happening in the outside world? Cursory search of oh man, the school's name. Private Gymnasium St. Dymphna. Dymphanae? I don't know. Drew out a sensitized webpage alongside perfectly forgettable social media profiles and alumni organizations and online catalogs. I've seen this website before, but I never took in any information here. It's nice and polite. It's like having the world's best bowl of oatmeal for breakfast. Nothing worth getting excited over. There's some small news sections that seem to be updated every month with success stories and inspirational quotes and school news. Just under a small goodbye written for a retiring teacher is an announcement that catches my attention. Get ready for this year's Dumpathon! Dumpatag. I click on the link and find myself on another part of the school website, that page detailing in some sort of festival that the school holds each year. And it's surprisingly honest. It's surprising. Honestly. I kind of expect the outside world to want nothing to do with us. But it looks like investors, therapists, and other facilities and family members are encouraged to come to this event. I didn't expect a student body from a school for the impaired would be able to organize a whole gala. Perhaps my students perhaps my sister would be able to come. I'm sure 2 of them would love to see more of the school. Enough goofing off. Maybe there's something school-related I can do online, like sign up for a class mailing list or register for grade tracking accounts. I should be able to do stuff like that without any assistance since I signed up for the school email account when I enrolled. Oh yeah, email. I should probably check mine. Mr. Wilhelm, I understand that you are joining our community. I understand that you are joining our community. A touch late in the semester, please let us extend a warm welcome and open invitation to drop by the counseling offices at any time. Under normal circumstances, we would have an opportunity to meet for a more formal welcome before classes had begun. This meeting allows me to get to know the students and address my concerns they may have. I apologize for missing an opportunity in your case, but I'd like to make this up as soon as possible. Please stop by my office Wednesday at 5:45 if you're able. What day is it in the game? I look forward to seeing you. Dr. Faber. I shouldn't do that. I don't know how it's going to come through. Dr. Siegfried Schutz Faber, MBBCH. I'm going to assume those are like medical degrees. Chief Counselor. Private Gymnasium St. Dymphna. I don't know. I need someone to actually tell me how to say that. You know you're an important person when your signature goes on for 6 lines. I sit back and wonder whether I'm supposed to click the reply button. I'm sure he'll expect me unless I outright tell him not to. I can get the distinct impression that turning him down this little offer will be more of a trouble than the alternative. The last thing I need to do is add antisocial or problems with authority to my extensive dossier. I type a quick sure thing back to Faber in response, just in case he needs confirmation from me. After a moment's consideration, I add, I appreciate your consideration, and hit send. Always tough finding out how to be formal with psychiatrists. Closing the laptop, I review the day's events. It wasn't too bad, I have to say. Sure, the students are weird, but they aren't crazy. Most of them aren't crazy. Of the ones I've met so far. And no one's strapping me to a table yet. That's good. Unless it's Fran, then hey, go right ahead. All things considered, I say I'm cautiously optimistic. Well, I'll call. Is it Fran? I'm joking. My thoughts are entered by my phone to ask. The default ringtone hasn't bothered to change. I look at the number display, an afterthought, almost as an afterthought. I reach for it, and my hand stops. Gustav. A second ring jolts me from my stunned stupor, and I grab the phone, and my thumb hovering over the cheerful greeting graphic now dominates my vision. I haven't talked to him since the accident. My leg pulses in the time with my heartbeat, as though I had needed reminding of our last meeting. Why is he calling now? What time zone is he in? I bet he heard about my new accommodation. He's probably trying to be encouraging, a great guy that he is. The third ring, my window is narrowing, and I'm no closer to a decision than when started. I'm not ready for this. This is too sudden, damn it. I'm trying to be a better person, sure, but Jesus, it's day 1, and you're going to spring this on me out of nowhere. The fourth ring, last chance. It's a stupid phone call. It's not an inquisition. I should just be like this. I should just pick up the phone and say, what, hi? I can't act like everything's fine. Look where I'm at, damn it. The phone finally goes dark. I release a breath I didn't realize I was holding, dropping the phone like hot coal while my voicemail lies to Gustav about my availability. Please, God, don't leave a message. This is already bad enough with some Schrodinger's cat and familiar guilt taking up my residence in my inbox. A few minutes pass, heavily silenced, and there's no new notifications. Starting the year off right, aren't we, Eric? I wake up after what feels far too much time, and too little sleep later, swearing into my pillow and wonderingly gradually just how many times it's been tonight. I thought the nightmares I've been having since this whole mess started were beginning to go away, but tonight's really been something else. Do I dare pick up my phone and check the time? It's not like I really need to. I know it's late enough to be bad, if not early enough. Seeing just what time it is exactly would just stress me out. If anything, it'd make it harder to go back to sleep. Make it so I couldn't stop thinking about it now. How much sleep I missed. 4:36. The numbers look back at me, calm and defiant, but from the blinding blue glow of the screen. There, happy now, Eric. Now you know exactly in what bad shape you are. This is also stupid. I've been rolling around in this for hours, and I don't feel like I've had a minute of real sleep. I just keep turning around, waking up from a nightmare after nightmare, grasping for air throughout the flood of childish worries and panic. One time I sat down to meet Dr. Faber, and he told me I'm one of the worst cases he's ever seen, and I'm never going to be able to function in society again. And others, I woke up in the middle of the classroom filled with mocking faceless students to find that I had a seizure in front of everyone and wet myself and screamed something I can't remember. It's probably just the stress. I'm still not used to sleeping in this bed. It's in the room with this window and this closet and this ceiling. It's been so long since I had to fall asleep the night before a school day. It's not bad or scary so much as strange. At least it shouldn't be. I think back to the email I read before going to sleep. Dr. Faber wanting to have a meeting with me, get to know me better. He's going to be my counselor for the rest of the year, so I suppose it makes sense. Yeah. I'm going to have my very own counselor. I'm going to meet him 3 times a week, and he's going to frown and nod and tell me to think logically about things while I tell him about my fears. That is, of course, assuming he doesn't just give up on me like my dreams. Maybe this really is more than just what I like to think it is. A run-of-the-mill first week at a new boarding school kind of stress. Still, one way or another, I need to get some rest. I don't want to make a bad impression before I've even really started my life here. Besides, I might miss something important if I go my first real day of school tired. I'm too sleepy to think properly, but by this point I'm far too awake to go back to sleep. I just lie on my bed for a few more minutes, face buried inside my pillow. I'm really sweaty under the sheets. It's not very comfortable. Sigh. I'm not going to sleep tonight. Today is today already. Pretty sure it is. I'm definitely not going to sleep. I sat in my bed and stretched my sore arms. What now? School doesn't start for 4 more hours. No point in leaving my room just yet. At what point is there in staying? I'm already done unpacking my stuff. I don't have any real homework right now, and if I did, I'd be too tired to really handle it. My head aches, my mouth tastes of sleep, desperate having not gotten any. I'm sweaty, I'm smelly, and my hair probably looks like something a cat threw up. First order of things, taking a shower. Pick up my glass from the nightstand, I gather a set of clothes and head out. A short while later, I'm already dressed up and clean and presentable. Too bad school doesn't start for at least a while. What exactly am I supposed to do now? Sit in my room and wait? I think the common room's still open, but other than that, making myself some coffee and sitting down on a couch, I don't know what to do there either. I can't turn on the television with everyone else sleeping, and I haven't brought any of my books to read. This can't be just my problem, right? Someone must come up with something at some point. My eyes wander quietly over the school grounds past the window. That gives me an idea. Eli noticed that they locked the dorms down at night, did she? I mean, it makes sense on the one hand, what with some students possibly wandering off unsupervised, but on the other hand, didn't I think the same thing about the cafeteria? This isn't a prison. I go for a stroll outside, get some fresh air, stretch my limbs, get a hang of the surroundings if nothing else. It'd be just like old times. I should check this out. What do you know, they really do leave the doors unlocked. I step outside and take my big breath of early morning air. It's moist and frigid, and so I cough it all back out a second later, but I'll be damned if it doesn't feel good. With everything that's happened, it must have been months since I've been outside like this. Not just free to walk around the backyard of some hospital or so the doctors can see how I can manage, but actually out in the open by myself. It's so different out by this hour. You can hear the birds and the breeze so clearly. The faint light gives the dorm air of scene from a movie. I still can't believe how ornate that old building is. I should just go on a tour of the city sometime. Viennese architecture is amazing, close to home, but with just enough exotic flourishes to capture the eye. I limp leisurely down the path from the courtyard, running my hands together against the cold and trying to take in as much of the surroundings as possible. Sometimes I think I can make a silhouette out of another student passing by, but it's hard to tell in the darkness. It's a pretty crazy picture. I'm just imagining it from afar. A bunch of boys in pajamas and school uniforms stumbling around and aimlessly in the middle of the night, like a scene from a zombie flick. In a different sense, though, it's relaxing. The fact that there are others there means I'm not alone. Sure, I may be weird, but so are they. If you divide it, it's like one of us is a little less weird on their own. Moving away from the dorms in a wide, winding circle through the campus, I eventually make my way nearly to the school building's doors before turning back. As I'm about to begin walking, though, my attention is caught by a familiar sound making me freeze in my place. Sounding clearly in the emptiness air, soft, melodious... It's Cat. Soft, melodious humming, not the same but vaguely similar to the one I heard yesterday. I turn around slowly to find the source. It's faint, but given that I'm hearing it at all, how far could it be? A few steps past the school's corner, I find what I've been looking for. Kachida, the girl with the eye patch from yesterday, is leaning lazily against a garden terrace wall, staring at the ragged horizon stretching behind the lake and humming to herself. She's way louder about it than she was yesterday, sometimes nearly opening her mouth and spelling out words. Maybe she doesn't think anyone's around. It's sort of cute, like catching someone singing in the shower. I move more closely. Good morning, Eric. She's not even looking my way. Morning. I mean, sorry, I didn't think you saw me. I mean, I didn't think I'd meet you here. I mean, what are you doing here? Taking a walk. I do believe this came up in our talk yesterday. How about you? Not working on your stealth skills, I hope. My blindside's the whole other way. I'm about to start muttering an apology when her expression melts into the same thin smile I saw last time. Have you decided to try out my idea? Well, no, I mean, not specifically. I just thought I'd go out or something, explore around a little bit or breathe some air, cool my head. May have had something to do with what you said yesterday. I don't know. Back in my mind or something. I see, that's good to hear. How do you like it so far? It's nice, actually. Really beautiful place. When you don't have time to think about making it to dinner in time. Crazy cold, though. Try putting on something next time. The winter uniform is a lot fancier than it is warm. Maybe an undershirt? Guess you learned something new every day. I'd like to comment on the fact that Kachida herself doesn't seem to be excessively dressed yet. Barely looks like she's even aware of it. But something tells me she won't take it too well me asking what's under her jacket. You mind if I join you there? It feels weird to be standing like this. Not at all. Be my guest. She moves a step right, and I carefully move beside her, resting my leg against the wall. And I don't look weird standing. That's hypocritical after all. I spent half of our last meeting staring at her eye, and it just makes me more self-conscious about it. I don't want to see me stumbling. After a momentary silence, she turns back to me and speaks. Are you still having trouble sleeping? More or less. I'm pretty sure it's just the stress keeping me up. I gave up trying at some point, and I thought I'd just try a different approach. She nods, stifling a little chuckle. A wise move. You'll do yourself much better that way. Sleep is important, but there's no forcing it when it doesn't come. Are you talking from experience? Mine and others, actually. Almost every student I've ever met here has had trouble sleeping at some point. Insomnia can be a symptom of any number of problems, and few times it isn't. It could still be a side effect of your medicines. Oh. I never thought about it like that. I knew I saw some others walking around here. Probably not even all of them, as you so keenly mention yourself. It's a little bit cold. Most of the ones who are already up are probably staying inside. Can't say I blame them. Her face lights up in a mischievous smile. You could still go back if you want to. It's not like I was expecting there to be anyone I could talk to. Maybe you'll catch a couple more hours of sleep. Go on, I won't be angry. Just leave me here all by myself with the crickets, nothing but the sound of my heartbeat and the sorrowful wail of the wind to remind me that I am still alive. All alone in the dark and the cold, not a soul in the world I could possibly pour my heart out to. Forever to keep all the thoughts and feelings I'm having right now in my mind. Go ahead, go back to sleep. Dream of whatever you like. Wake up, go to school, maybe find another pretty lady to talk to in the small hours of the morning. Maybe you'll never have to think back to this moment and wonder what if. Okay, fine, I'll stay with you. Talk about a hard bargain. Talk about an easy sale. Oh, speaking of which, I think you still owe me lunch from our last meeting. What? Lunch, the meal between breakfast and dinner, usually eaten in midday? I know what lunch is. Then you recognized I gave up on mine yesterday so I could talk with you. It had been rude otherwise. Rude had it been rude. People can talk over food. Kiji looks at me like I've suggested we take our pants off. She's not wearing pants, to be fair. She's wearing a skirt. Not like that. You need a proper seating and plates and some drinks to go with it. You can't just have any kind of talk you want at any time. That's completely inappropriate. But I was eating the whole time yesterday. I know, how awful is that? Good thing I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. How does Kaiser's sound? I'm gonna say Kaiser's sound. I probably shouldn't have any, but it's a treat, isn't it? With raisins and plums and some applesauce on the side. Should be right on the weekend. That's good. Wonderful. That's all. All's well that ends well. Don't worry much about it. We can settle your debts at a later date. She uses the same formal tone to say it as she did while introducing herself, but her expression is far more relaxed now. I think it's safe to assume she's joking, and you know what? For a quiet moment I hear her standing back and talking about nothing with somebody friendly. I don't even mind it. I'll buy them lunch. So what do you usually do out here when you're up? Depends on how long I've been up. Mostly I'm happy just walking and thinking. It's a pretty underrated activity. If I wake up early enough, I like to go out here and wait for the sun to rise. It's gorgeous if the weather is right. As if to make a point, she lifts her sleeve slightly and takes a quick glance at her watch. Oh, once again, I notice the flash of white gauze on her wrists. Once again, I stop myself from commenting on it. Checking how much time we've got. Wouldn't want to miss it. Huh, I know that feeling. Really? Yeah, I'm actually really into, I used to standing outside in the pitch blackness, shivering in clothes, looking towards the horizon in expectation, or expecting something other than the very definition of regular. Reminds me of all those early mornings in Grindelwald and Freiburg when Gustav and I went out cramping. I'd make challenges out of trying to wake him up before him. Never made it work. No matter what I tried, even if I went to sleep, he'd still be sitting nearby as soon as I opened my eyes, already filling with a burning brewed coffee. Pretty sure he was doing it on purpose. Point is, I like that kind of thing, you know? Obviously, no. I mean, not specifically the waiting for the sun thing, more of a general outdoors thing. Hiking, trekking, mountain climbing, geography too. A veritable adventurer. I guess you could say that, or used to. An impish glint flares at Kajita's eye. Or Katja, is that so? Yeah, I mean, not on like a professional level or anything, as a hobby. I see, okay then. How about you tell me something I don't know about geography? Well, like a challenge? If you'd like to call it that way, why would it be a challenge? Oh, you did not just say that. You better prepare yourself. Okay, how about this? Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa. She pouts. Do you take me for an ignoramus, sir? I know that much. Sure, I'm just getting started. So, like I said, it's the highest mountain in Africa. That makes sense. One of the 7 summits, which is on the list of highest mountains on each continent. It's at least less than 6 kilometers above sea level, which makes it the 4th on that one, right behind Mount McKinley in North America. It's located in the north end of Tanzania, near Moshi. It's a dormant 3-cone stratovolcano, and the cones are called Kiba, Mawenzi, and Shiria. I don't know. I'm not good at these things. The actual summit, that's the highest point on the entire mountain, is called Uhuru Peak, and it's found around what is technically the crater of the Kibo Cone. The word Kilimanjaro comes from the regulated word for white, since when it snows during the rainy season, it's like one of those places where you don't really have a winter and a summer, you just have dry and wet. So far, so good. The look on Kajita's face is absolutely priceless. It's only once I give it some thought that dawns on me. I've been grinning like an idiot half the time. Might not have been the prettiest or cheer smile I've had, but it's also genuine. It feels so real, I don't have to force it. Feels good to do that again. I don't even remember when the last time I did. It's proud, it's exciting, it makes my stomach turn, but in a good way. I don't want to stop now. I want to keep doing this for as long as Kajita would let me. So, how was it so far? Is there more? Man, if I could keep going for hours. So hear me out. There's two more famous routers on the summit called Marengu and Mushim. But most climbers their Coca-Cola and whiskey. The idea that whiskey is for more experienced types and Coca-Cola is for beginners. In practice, though, it may not be much easier since it has a way shorter acclimatization period, so the start is milder, but you end up with breathing difficulties. Now, whiskey, on the other hand, takes about a week to climb up, and the only reason I know this is because a couple months ago I planned on one day making it. I had to stay with Child's Dream, making me and Gustav all the way up to the summit. Didn't know when we get around to it, just that I would. I felt certain. I was certain that Gustav would be there for me. It feels so infinite thinking about it right now, like a child dreaming about what they were going to be when they grow up, and thinking they'd be an astronaut or president. Hell, the way I am now, this is just silly if I'd wished to grow up to be a dinosaur. It's meaningless. It's all completely, absolutely meaningless. I let my back sink down, so I'm guessing he had climbing accident, and that's caused him mental issues such as maybe like PTSD because of the injuries he sustained. I let my back sink a bit down the wall. I shift my weight a little side to side, trying to calm down, and then trying to catch myself holding the wall back with one hand. My leg feels like it's made of insects. For one moment, I feel like I'm almost completely forgotten about it. Now it's gone. Chia stands wordlessly waiting for me to continue speaking. It takes me a while to realize her eyes are fixed on my leg. How long has it been this way? Begin moving it on instinct, but then it occurs to me that she really did somehow notice my limp on the minute. And so we are standing, trying to hide it now would only make it worse. She opens her mouth to speak, and I can only imagine her face twisting as she tries to find out a way to ask a wimpy, whining Vod whatever talk like they plan to climb mountains. Goodness, do I know somebody you'll get along with just fine, huh? Look up to see if she's kidding. Her smile honestly is caring as ever. None of pay, no disgust, no even confusion. Try to spawn by a throat suddenly feels like I swallowed an entire sea sponge. What, are they into Africa triviaing or something? Something like that. I don't know how to respond to this. The tight feeling in my stomach is beginning to fade away. My muscles are so all wound up. I feel like I'm about to fall over. Other than that, it's fine. Could it be that she hadn't noticed after all? Carefully, not to let go of the chance, I start slightly pushing myself on the terrace wall. If I do this correctly, it wouldn't look like I... Please don't. It's nothing that you should be ashamed of. I know. I just didn't think you've... She lets out a dry, bitter laugh and raises a finger to point towards her own face. Don't you think I know a thing or two about that? You happen to be talking to a bit of an expert here. At least you could probably fake walking right if you put enough effort into it. My choices mostly comes down to whether to rip off the eye patch, and it's not like that'd make it stand out less. And let me tell you, it's amazing how fast the novelty wears off of having guys look at your face for a change. It's just that I thought I was doing fine. I could hear you coming from behind the corner. You have a gate. I guess I do. And my point is that I don't mind it, and neither does anyone I can think of that you might like talking to. She takes another look at her watch, and then she looks back up. It's with a face of cheerful as its subjects never changed. That's pretty impressive. I didn't know most of it. It's good for you to have something that you're so passionate about. I may not know as much as you about Africa, but I think I might get it why you would like strolling around like that. I used to going on walks too. Vienna isn't quite a mountaineering challenge, but it does have some beautiful parks. Of course, lately I've been forced to make do with these lawns around here. I'll give it to the faculty. The garden is magnificent considering the circumstances. Have you been to the city of Vienna yet? The city of proper, that is, not the school that's technically in it. Just a little bit. I spent a while there before moving in. Why? Were you going to offer me a tour? Well, I certainly don't anymore. Don't act so smugly about this. That said, I still won't mind showing you around sometime if we ever get to spend a day outside, assuming you'd be paying, of course. That'd be the gentlemanly thing to do. Huh, you know, it's not very ladylike of you to ask like this. Her cheeks puff an expression of fiend outrage. The gall. You're not helping yourself one bit after yesterday's lunchtime scandal. But that's fine. All of it goes on your tab. Seriously though, I think you might enjoy Vienna. Think of it as like the school here, but with more people, better shopping, less fences. For a second, her mouth hangs open like she was just about to add something else, but she seems to close it as soon as she's noticed me looking. I'll keep it in mind. I like her. She's growing on me. I think I like her probably best of all, besides our Bay Fran. So it's Fran and Cat. I think Cat probably comes above. Or they're equal. For now though, I should probably start looking into other things to do. Let's face it, I'm not doing any hiking anytime soon. I've looked into joining the newspaper club. Do you know a girl named Lena Forst? You could say that. I did hear something about the new applicant. Okay, wait, what? This is giving me flashbacks from yesterday's dinner. Why would you hear about that? Who talks about this kind of thing? Small community, Eric. Ladies talk. Not that there's usually much to talk about. With Miss Frost, at least you know whatever it is bound to be interesting. Right, I can see that. I'll keep that in mind for, next time the boys and I come back from a hunt or something. Save some venison. No, this leg there won't be. Seems like much of an explanation as I'm going to get for now. Might as well then. How about you in terms of hobbies? I mean, hobbies, extracurricular activities, avocations. Right, I already told you mine, so it's only fair that you tell me a little about yours. isn't it? What do you like to do in your spare time? There's a demure smile on her lips, but between the puffed out chest and the proud glint in her eyes, she's not fooling anyone. I sing. I couldn't have guessed. Oh, like in a band or something? A band? Is that a kind of impression I've been making this whole time? I sing in the school choir. I suppose that does make a lot of sense. It'd explain the humming, and definitely she has a voice for that. I'm not sure if that's the image I've had in mind for choir girl, but it isn't too far off either. That does sound a lot more like you. Is there anywhere I could hear you perform? She blinks an eye in the thought. Well, we do have the holiday coming up. There's a choir will be participating both in the opening event and the gala. So I suppose I'll be spending most of my time of the next 2 weeks somewhere around the chapel. It is where the choir practices. Practice, practice, practice. You can never do with enough practice. You know, no matter how good you think you are. Sounds like a solid plan. If I ever run out of stuff to do, I'll be wanting to check out the chapel anyway. I'll be sure to give you a visit sometime. You won't mind it, right? I hope for an answer, but none comes. Given that we're just talking, it takes me an embarrassing long time to realize that Kichi has fallen completely silent, following her gaze towards the lake. I can make out the first glimmers of the sunrise behind the mountains in the horizon. Hey. She raises one hand for silence and blurts out something in the tone that just sounds almost angry. Quiet now. We've waited here all this time. Take a deep breath and savor the moment. I do as she says, resting against the wall and holding my breath in silence. For someone who's so against rudeness, she sure knows how to cut conversation when it suits her. Above us, the deep purple night sky gradually giving way to a paler shade of blue, slowly enough that if you looked at it at any time, you won't know it, but by the time you thought about it, the image changed. I glance aside to Kat to say something, but she looks like she isn't with me any longer. For all of how involved she's been so far, now she just stands there enraptured. And again, after all this gushing about mountains and sunrises, I've done. It's not like I've gotten any right to talk. And you know, I heard looking at the sunrise without protection can hurt your... never mind. No response. Probably better she didn't pay attention in this case. Forgetting about our talk for the time being. I'm beside the rocks, taking the view. Protection can go screw itself. I already wear glasses. At first, it doesn't look like there's much to see. The harder I squint, though, the more I look at it, the brighter the picture becomes and the more details are added. The first, the patch of light rising behind the mountains surrounding a cold, near colorless sun, then with every passing second, more and more rays breaking through and against the thin clouds. When they hit the water just right, you can actually see the reflection of it shining on the far side of the lake. Hilda used to say that it looks like the water's on fire back when the entire family went walking together. Beatrice said it looked like paint spilling. Hilda told her that sounds stupid, and she said, at least I'm being honest. Feels like eternity since then, but I can still imagine that scene, not just the way it looked, but the entire experience of it. The sounds, the smells, how unusually hot it was that day. Looking higher up on the sky helps with that. Once you stretched your neck far enough, you can't see the mountains. It's the same old purple and blue whether you're in Switzerland or Austria. Or even Africa. Who's to say that it isn't? So as long as you can't see the stars, it's the same sky whether you're looking, wherever you're looking. It could be any time, like life's never changed. I don't know what passes through Kat's mind right now. I hope she's getting as sentimental as I am. It'd be seriously dorky of me that I've been going through the whole thing by myself here. Soon enough, the light just gets too bright to look at. My eyes are burning by the time I realize that. And for a good half a minute after I take my glasses off to rub them, all I can see is dancing blotches of green and purple. When my vision clears, Kiji's already stopped staring, having since moved, checking her watch with a busy expression. So, that was a beautiful experience, wasn't it? She lost her face back and looked at me. I'll save here because I like saving with decisions. Sure, and overwrite your save. I don't want to overwrite it. Is that what I did? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think it likes what I'm doing. I don't know, it worked. Game's not happy with my current thing. Absolutely. It was, the whole conversation was what I needed. It's, yeah. It is beautiful, it's great. Not to sound sappy or anything, but, like, thanks, you know, for showing me that and convincing me not to go back. Wouldn't have wanted to miss that. I was feeling really down back there for a moment, and that really took me back to happier times. You come here every day? No, I specifically said that I didn't. Please try to pay more attention. Still, it's a pleasure when I can help it. Sometimes I tell myself I should wake up early more often. Of course, if I did that, I'd be too tired most days. After all, you have to get a good night's sleep at some point. I'll make sure to keep working on that. I step forward from the wall and stretch my arms with a tired sigh that evolves halfway through to a yawn. I'm going to feel like a dump by dinner, but screw that. This was a pretty great time. I should definitely keep this in my mind for the next time something like this has happened. Cat or Kiji or no Kijia, I feel more alive now that I've felt in a while. You want to head over for the breakfast in a couple minutes? Thank you, but I'm going to have a decline. I still need to do a few more things before classes start, and I really prefer not to be late. Okay, good luck with whatever it is. It was really good talking to you. It's no problem. You made a good pastime, too. See you around. I'm about to come up with something to say, but by the time I've opened my mouth, she's already given another one of her bows and made off. She moves fast for a quiet girl. As for myself, I'm going to give the cafeteria another check, or at least the vending machine. Sandwiches! May this might turn out to be an okay day, despite my nightmares. I really like that. That was the demo over? Don't tell me. No. That was such a good time. Don't end that. No. I was really enjoying that. Well, I'm gonna let this definitely show through. I think everyone deserves to get their fair share, showing the people who created it. Thank you, writing team. Blank Mage, Kosher Bacon, Gloom, Hamadine. I'm gonna Kuro, Ultra HR. I think I'm gonna see if I can recognize these names. I do remember. I see some of the people I do know because on the Discord. Thank you, everybody. I was going to read out all of them. Angry Evil, Era, Winderda, Grant, Lycos, Mort. Oh my gosh, this really should stop. I'm going to just butcher these names. Shuko, Astartes, Flare, Llama Llama, Susain HDT, Aaron, Teresa, Fernando, Merlin, Leroy, Fia. This is Carcian, editing team, Stupo or Spoopy. Oh, is it supposed to say super spoopy? Swampy, Beta Testa, Boredom, Brainy Kevin, Dokinth, Hi Kara. Is he the admin, main admin on the server? I think that is. M Knight. I think it's Hikaru. Sirio, Honey Muffin, Imperial Standard, Josh Kemplin, Mike, Inal, and all of our fans. All that cares appealing in this work are fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. This game deals with potential sensitive themes, including fictional deceptions of psychological illnesses, self-harm, eating disorders, troubled relationships, and trauma. These issues are real, complex, and highly personal. In order to ensure reality, accurate, respectful, and comprehensive portrayal of above, we have consulted and worked closely alongside medical and specialized education professionals, alumni of special education institutions, and patients of mental health systems. We encourage all readers to use this visual novel as a way of discussing the issues with people with mental illness face to face every day. 2018, Simnova Studios. That is probably one of the best demos I've played in a long while. Good job, everyone. I hope I can show these videos to the people on the server. I'd really love to. But you guys did an amazing job on this demo, and I think you deserve a personal round of applause for everything. Like, I'm only just one person, but hopefully I get more clapping, because it just seems kind of smart-assly if I just do it by myself. But you guys did an amazing, amazing, amazing job, and I cannot thank you guys enough. I can't wait for the full game comes out. When the full game comes out, you can better believe that I'll be the first one downloading this and playing it. I don't know if it's going to cost money. If it costs money, I'll let you take my money. I really think you did an amazing job. The story actually really engulfed me. I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm actually really glad that I wasn't let down. I'm very excited. My hype was not let down for this game, and it's definitely reinvigorated now that I can see where it's going to go and what we're going to see. So expect this series to definitely come back on my channel. It will definitely be out on my channel, and I will make a playlist on it right now for these 3 episodes. I really hope you enjoyed the demo. I really hope you enjoy this game. If you can, like I said, I'm going to put the links in the description of this video of the website. I highly suggest go there, give them your support, really show them that you care, because these people really deserve it. These people are hardworking people working really hard on this game, and I think they really deserve every amount of credit that you give them. I think these guys are amazing, and I think there's a lot of potential here, and I can't wait to see what the rest of this game holds. This is a really great demo, and I'm really, really surprised. I mean, just because usually when you hear demos, they usually don't give you enough information to keep you interested, or, you know, there's just something like it's not finished and it's glitchy. It runs beautifully. The story's beautiful. The character designs are beautiful. The art's beautiful. The story, it's all beautiful. The music's great. I legitimately cannot wait for the full release of this game, and I will be impatiently waiting for the full arrival of this game. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I cannot wait. I really, really cannot wait for the full release. As always, guys, if you like this, please leave a comment below. I'd really love to hear your opinions about this game. Really want you to visit that website. I'm really enforcing that. These people really deserve all the help and support you can give them. They really deserve it. As always, guys, I'm SeerDinosaurX. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you all very, very much for watching.